Hi, dear listeners. This is the May Mother's Day series. I got a wonderful mother with many different type of experience, and I'm so happy to introduce this special mother because she's also a radio host, and then she's doing many different things that I can relate and resonate. So, welcome, Julie, to the series.
Thank
So,
you.
Julie, can you please introduce yourself to to tell us what are you doing? What is your area of expertise? And then how you influencing the whole people around us?
Yeah, I can. Thank you for having me, Bismi. My name is Julie Fisher. I'm a mum of three boys and a stepmom of a gorgeous young lady. Um, and in 2019, I realised the dream of becoming an author. Now, our youngest son lives with Down syndrome. So the book is about our journey with him from prenatal diagnosis up until the age of 13. And once I published that book, things started to change in my life, and I started to want to do more within the disability sector with advocating and supporting families and things like that. So we'll fast forward to 2024, and I've got three books published now. The middle one is about the importance of inclusion and acceptance in the community. And the third one is a series of stories from 13 mums around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also, in 2024, I am a radio host, as Bismi mentioned, and I interview service and support providers in the disability sector for the community to learn more about what's available and how to access them. And we also interview people with lived experience in disability to share their journeys. And I also host a local disability expo in my area. I've done it twice, and we're doing the third one this year, which is really exciting. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just another way to bring everything close into the community, so they have an easier way to access and find out what's available and how they can access it. And I also do keynote speaking, where I challenge the rest of the world to become change makers with me and create a positive world for our loved ones who live with a disability. So yeah, I don't, when I say it all, I don't know how I fit it in, but I managed to somehow.
That was I was thinking like lots of things are happening as a motherhood. So I would like to show your books. The unexpected journey is there, and magic is here, and then from the hearts is here. So
Yeah.
it's very useful information or a good read for all mothers. Wherever you are, I would recommend to have a go because it's a real thoughts and experience that they anyone as a mother will feel and then deal with the things happening in there. So I recommend that, highly recommend. So my question, like you described your motherhood, which is really like a real stuff with many different challenging things, and at the same time you are inspiring other people. So my question, how do you how do you handle all this motherhood and your speaking events, your expos, all those type of business thing? How do you handle those?
I guess I'm good with time management. I'm like every other mum. I make mistakes. I try my best. My older two boys are young adults now. They're in their 20s. So, they're pretty self sufficient most of the time. They do
Mm-hmm.
still live at home. But, I don't have to take them places or anything like that anymore. Darcy, who's our youngest, just turned 18.
Mm-hmm.
And, with his NDIS package, he gets to access the community with support. So, I do get a little bit of free time, which is nice. I think that's important as well. But, I think I'm not a super mum. I'm just like any other mum. I'm just trying my best and learning as I go. And, if I make a mistake, I learn from it and push forward. So we all just try our best, I think. And, that's all we can do, really.
Yeah. So I heard the word time management. That's your key. And I know that, many different things happening, and then you need to, pick up those times.
Yeah.
I would love to share a little bit about Darcy, and I was so fortunate to participate in your last program that you were doing with Darcy. So do you want to share a little bit about that video that and then the story about you and Darcy with us?
Yeah, no worries. So the video that we launched last week was with Down Syndrome Victoria, and the campaign is called Now You See Me, and it's aimed to raise awareness and stop the stigma that people know about Down syndrome. So we got to do a video, and yeah, I'm really, really proud of it. And, you know, I've loved being able to share it now with the world. And we just talk very raw and honestly about Down syndrome, and Darcy speaks on the video as well and says, you know, who he is, that he's a brother and his name is Darcy and he likes to go out with his carers and things like that. So it really just shows people that he likes to do things just like everybody else at the end of the day. And yeah, our story, you know, we got a prenatal diagnosis when I was 15 weeks pregnant with Darcy. I was very fortunate though, because I'd made a friend 2 years before who has a daughter with Down syndrome. So I was very nosy Parker and asked her lots and lots of questions. And one of the questions was, what was it like to get the diagnosis after birth? And she explained how hard it was and how every time somebody came into the hospital, there were tears, and not because they don't love her, but because, you know, their journey changed in an instant like that. And I thought, well, I would never want that to happen. I think I'd want to know so that everybody else could know. And that's what we did. So we still went through all of those emotions and tears and worry and nerves and not knowing, even though I knew her and I knew a little bit about Down syndrome, it didn't mean my son was going to be like her daughter. So, you know, there was still that unknown as well, but he was welcomed into the world with lots of smiles because everyone was ready and waiting for him. And yeah, so I've just navigated the journey like everybody else. I reach out for support when I need it. I ask questions. I've got a beautiful community around me. And we all help each other. You know, I'm 18 years along now, so I can help new time mums now as well and give them guidance. And I think my books also help with that, with support for the parents. I actually had a lady come and thank me for saving her daughter's life. It was quite incredible. I was at an expo and she came up and she said, "Oh my God, you're Julie Fisher. I've read your book." And I said, "Oh, where did you get it?" And she got it from a group called Celebrate T21, who gives gift packs to new families and puts them in touch with supports. And she said, well, you know, we got the diagnosis and we were booked in for a termination. And then I got this beautiful gift pack and your book was in there. So she said, "I read your book in one sitting, and when I finished it, I cancelled the appointment. And this is my daughter. So thank you for saving her life." And I mean, that just really filled my heart. I thought, you know, that little girl's going to have a beautiful life. You know, she's going to be given chances just like everybody else, which is what they all deserve.
Yeah, like, you know, I feel that is really like, you know, touching the story because I can really resonate when we hear that you need to terminate your baby, because I had that experience 11 years ago with my twin boys. I lost my triplet and then they told that your twin, one of the twins having Down syndrome, and then you need to, you know, terminate that life. But without any thoughts, or like, you know, I was determined to take him to this world and then, you know, help him to enjoy this world. But, you know, I could feel how people are asking you to terminate and how hard it will be, all those things. But that's what I said, the book really encouraging you to continue. And I like your tagline, give the people chance. And, you know, and then we can clearly be grateful to see when they do little things with great love. So I can really, you know, feel what you're doing is helping many other people, because in this world it is too much with all different things, or everything is happening, and it's so hard to you know, give that real love to the people. And if it is especially with you for 24/7, and you know, as a person you have your own different mindset, your own different feelings and emotions, so it's so hard to be consistent with that care and compassion. But with the people like you, share helping others and giving guidance, it's really, really work.
Yeah. And I was also encouraged to terminate. I was told several times at different appointments about the process, and that I just don't think, now that I think back, I don't think they could get it in their heads that we found out so that we could learn about it, tell everybody. I think, and 19 years ago, it wasn't common to have a prenatal diagnosis. It's much more common now. And so I think when I look back now, because I got quite angry with those doctors, but I just think they just couldn't get it in their head that that was why I found out. I think everybody else that they'd encountered, I guess, did terminate. And I never judge anybody for that decision either. You do whatever is right for you as a person and a family. We did what we thought was right for us. And, you know, we've got a gorgeous
Yes.
18-year-old boy that teaches us stuff and makes us laugh every day. He's quite a funny young fella. So.
Yeah. So, he's a gentleman. Like, it's so good to see him growing and then doing all great things. And yeah, that's a powerful way that you becoming a mother and then being an advocate, not for your son, but all the parents out there who is going through this struggle. So great job, Julie. And that's the connection I feel like, I feel the pain that you were going through. In my case, like, no, there was no one. I didn't tell, maybe this may be the first time I'm telling in public. So no one knew that he was having this diagnosis happened when he was 15 months old. I mean, 15 weeks old. But anyway, he's 11 years. The other thing I need to connect, which is also similar to mine, like, I love being a radio host. And I know that you are running a radio host, a program in your area, Frankston. And then can see the lively guests coming up and sharing different things. Can you share us about your journey in becoming a radio host?
Yeah, it actually came unexpectedly. The local radio station down here, our double PFM, have always supported me with my books, and I actually filmed my TED Talk at their studio because I did my TED Talk during COVID times when there
Yep.
was no live TED Talks. And I met the producer one day. I said, "Oh, we need to meet because we're always texting and we're on the phone." So we met up and we were just having a chat, and she was talking about how she'd just started a radio show herself with a co-host.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said, "Hey, would you like a show?" And I thought, why not?
Why
I'll give
not?
it a go. And straight away I thought, what can I do? And I thought, what a great way to, promote businesses that are really passionate about what they do in the disability sector and
Mm-hmm.
get that out there to the community. So that's what we started doing. And I got my co-host, who's my friend Tina, and she's the lady that I met 2 years before I got pregnant with Darcy. And we thought, we'll plan 10 shows and we'll just see how we go. And then, we actually didn't think we were going to keep going, but we're up to 63 shows now and almost at our second birthday in September. And yeah, as the 10 shows were winding up, we just started planning for the next year, and it just keeps going. And, I'm getting my guests, the businesses that come to the Disability Expo, are offered a chance to come on and promote their businesses as well on the radio show. And then this year I sort of thought, wouldn't it be nice to hear from some other families and also people who live with a disability? So I think we've had 3 guests on so far that have shared their journeys, and we've got some really incredible guests coming on, coming up over the next few months, sharing their journeys as well. And what they're doing now. There's a young man coming on that started off as a participant and now works full time for this particular business. And I really can't wait to meet him properly and get him to share his story. So, it's just another way of supporting everybody. And, when you hear other people's stories, you don't feel so alone either. And then when you hear some success stories from people who live with a disability, it gives you some hope, for your child that, anything's possible. So, I really love it. I love what I do. And I think
That's
that
right.
that's how I make it all fit in as well, I think, because I love it so much. And that fire's burning in my belly with that passion. And, every time I go out and share our story, I feel the changes that I'm making, and I love that. So, even bleary-eyed, I still go ahead and do things. So, because I love it so much,
That's
I pinch
great.
myself all the time.
Right. Yes. I always like think about Steve Jobs saying that, if you do what you love, you don't feel like what you are in doing your work because you are living that moment. So you enjoy that moment. I think that's what you're doing. And, same with me. Radio is more of like, refilling my cup of energy and then putting up, with new ideas and passion. And I can't explain how that will help,
Yeah. It's lots
your
of fun. It's lots of
mental
fun
health.
too. Like we don't go in there with a real serious head either. We go in there and we share some of our stories and we have a bit of a joke, and
Yeah.
we have a fun segment every week as well called Tina's Tuesday Trivia. And,
Oh,
so we have a lot of fun on there as well, which I think helps. And, we do lots of photos with our guests and they always love that too. So,
yeah.
it's good fun.
That's great. So I just want to ask the other questions like, can you share some best moment as a mother, maybe with Darcy or your whole motherhood?
Oh, I think the best moments as a mum are when you see your children achieve something they've been working towards, no matter what it is. It could be tying a shoelace, it could be making their bed for the first time. And yeah, as a mum, I always feel really proud and happy and fulfilled when I see my kids accomplish something, whether it's something as little as tying a shoelace or, making mum a cup of coffee for the first time, making their bed for the first time. Anything that fills their cup and makes them proud really lifts me up, because I think, they work really hard towards learning things when they're kids, and when they achieve it, it's it's just lovely. I can't describe it. You just beam with pride and you just beam with love as well. And with Darcy, because he has Down syndrome, things take a little longer. And I don't think it's feeling prouder of him than the other boys, but I think because it's taken him a lot of extra time to learn the tasks like walking, crawling, going up and down escalators. Like, he's only just mastered that last year and he was 17. But I think I just feel, not prouder, but I don't know, it's just there is a little bit of extra something there because he's worked extra hard. And
Yeah.
then I also think that extra is there because his brothers are proud of him too. So when I see all my kids celebrating each other, that just fills my heart so much. And favorite thing about being a mum, watching them grow and learn and achieve and accomplish goals that they've worked towards. So
Yeah, that's great. So I can see all different, outcome coming up as a positive outcome, which we celebrate each moment. That is also a motivation for them too. Yeah, that's great. So my next question is like, what are the 3 rules that you do to keep the peace within you and your family?
within me, well, I start the day, I start the morning. Once Darcy's gone off to school, because he's still at school this year, I sit out on my front porch for at least 10 minutes just by myself, just soaking everything in and just beginning the day nice and calmly. And I started doing that probably 18 months ago because, we're always rushing, rush, 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 rush. I'm fortunate because I can work from home now as well. So rather than, I get up in the morning and I rush to get him off onto the bus and off to school, and then I just sit and I pause. And then that refreshes me for the day. So that's one thing. Another thing that I like to do is, and I think it's all about doing things for ourselves so that then that moves into the family unit as well. So I do like to go for a walk, and I feel very refreshed after that as well. So I come in, feeling good and pumped for the day. And the other thing is, just sitting down and chatting with my family and just enjoying a bit of television or, just making sure that I do something each day that I enjoy, that's relaxing. And I think that's really important because sometimes we can get dragged into the busy and forget to do that. And that's when we start to burn out and become overwhelmed. And that's why I start the day at least 10 minutes, just doing nothing, just sitting out there. That's an easy job for me to do in the morning. And if that's all I get to do for the day, I'm okay because I've been able to just stop and pause and then come in and start at my own pace. So
That's great.
That's what I do.
I think that pause is great because that's where we put a bit of like a break and reflect on and maybe even plan what can I do, like, what's the top 3 priority and things like
That's
that.
right. Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. So the next one is more for my listeners, like, you're a successful mother. Not only that, you're inspiring many people. You're a TEDx speaker. You got an author of 3 books, and you're helping many people to write books, helping people to achieve their dreams in speaking and coaching career. So you're more of like a mom for many different people. So your motherhood is not just stopping at the in your family, not in the community, but around the world. That's what I can see. So my
Thank you.
question is like, our show's tagline is love, joy, and peace. So what is the message um, from you to our listeners to spread love and joy to people around them?
Wow. I think you just got to be kind. Like kindness brings all of that.
Mm.
Being kind to someone fills your
Mm-hmm.
heart,
Mm-hmm.
makes an amazing impact to somebody's day.
Mm-hmm.
It could be something like I remember I was in the chemist one day and there was a man and he looked very grumpy. And I said to him, "Hello." I said, "Are you okay? You know, it's a nice day outside." And he said, "Oh, my day hasn't started too well." And he goes, "I don't want
Oh.
to bore you with it." But he said, "But you know what? You've made my day by just asking me that." So,
Oh.
you don't have to like physically buy someone's coffee if you can't, because we can't all do that. But just
Mm.
giving somebody a nice, a question of how they are, or, "Oh, gee, that dress looks nice on you." I make a point, if I see a lady in a nice dress, I'll go up and just say to her, "I really like your dress. It really suits you."
Mm.
And they go, "Oh." So just kindness, I think, is the key for me,
Mm.
because I think that then spreads the love and the happiness and the joy to everybody. And it's
Mm.
just so important and it's so easy to do.
It is, but it is like, to practice that, it's a bit hard, isn't it? Because we are busy with all our things in our brain and never appreciate little things out there. Like lots of time, we will just skip that and then keep on, like, going to do our own, like a busy thing. So I think that's a
Yeah,
great message,
we do. And
Julie.
yeah,
Mm.
Darcy's probably taught me, like, I always knew it was important and good to be kind, but
Mm.
he's taught me the next level of it, because when I first started going out into the community with him, we
Mhm.
got stares and things like that from people, which didn't sit well with me.
Mm.
And as he got older, he started to feel that negativity in my reaction. So
Mm.
I started smiling at people and
Mm.
they started smiling back and saying hello. And I thought,
Oh.
wow, it doesn't even take that much time to just smile and say hello or give someone a compliment, but it makes
Mm.
their day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I think we just have to remember that in the busy, it takes 1 second to just give someone a nice little, or just a smile sometimes is all somebody needs.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that's like a contagious that will help them to be positive and then, do their hard things in their life. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
a great message. Julie, thank you for your time in this busy schedule and then sharing your journey with our world. So I know that you are in the Frankston area, but we are on the other west side of the thing. But you are spreading love, joy, and to the whole world through online platforms and going around for different speaking events, your expos. I really would love to know how we can reach out to you, and then how the people who are going through the maybe the pregnancies or maybe having the disability, a person with a disability in their family or even a person with disability. How can we reach out to you, Julie?
Yeah, well, firstly, thank you so much for having me on today, Bismi. I've really enjoyed talking to you. And you can reach me. I have a website. It's really easy. It's just juliefisher.com.au.
Mhm.
And my email address is hello@juliefisher.com.au. So very easy. And you can also find me on social media, on Facebook, at The Unexpected Journey. I have a Facebook page called The Unexpected Journey, and you
Mhm.
can see all of the things that we're getting up to on there. So.
Okay, yeah. So thank you, Julie. So I just want to share with my listeners, Julie is an advocate for inclusion, and she's
Yeah.
the one who giving people a chance to chance, and then she is enjoying how they, growing in their life, and especially through her family and the wonderful community that she is in. So thank you again, Julie, and happy Mother's Day, and enjoy the time with your beautiful beautiful son, three sons, and then
Yes.
a girl. So enjoy the time, and you deserve a wonderful Mother's Day. So that's what it from Dominus Nisi. Thank you so much, Julie.